Hey there, everybody. Another episode of Gideon's Tactical here. I am very excited about this review. I have had my eye on the Becker BK2 by K-Bar for over a year and a half. Wanted to get my hands on one. Finally got my hands on one. And I got to tell you, overall, I am very impressed with this Becker BK2. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm sure you probably read about it, maybe seen a couple reviews. I don't know. But got to tell you right off the bat, Becker products are very good quality. I like them a lot. Let's just kind of open this little guy up here. There we go. Boom, there she blows. All right, couple quick specs for you. Made in the USA out of 1095 Covan carbon steel, which I guess is a little bit of an upgrade over just normal high carbon steel. But 1095, you have an overall length of 10.5 inches. You have a blade length of 5.25 inches for the blade, so just over 5 inches. Flat grind blade, which is perfect. A weight of a whopping 16 ounces. This is a heavy knife for the size. And finally, the thickness, yep, you guessed it, folks, 1/4 inch thick. Man, this thing is just a tank and a pry bar and all of the above. So let's kind of look at it here a little bit. Couple things right off the bat. You can see, I mean, just a huge, like 2-inch wide. It's basically the width of 2 of my thumbs blade, just super thick. Great spine. Again, 1/4 inch thick. This is going to blast through stuff when you baton it. Just going to split it like nobody's business. Nice drop point kind of design a little bit. Kind of like a modified drop point, but very strong tip all the way up to the very tip. I mean, you can, again, this is literally like a pry bar. Nice belly, flat grind again, so I mean, it's going to do the work that you want it to do. Stamped BK2 on one side and the Becker insignia on the other. The coating is so-so, just like all other Becker products. I mean, it's going to show some wear and tear pretty quick, but it does what it's supposed to do. I don't mind it at all, and I like knives that are kind of beat up because it shows you that you used them and that they're good quality. Full tank construction all the way through. You got a huge lanyard hole here. You can almost double run paracord through there if you wanted to. Big, nice hammer slash, like knock someone out if you had to, or a hammer, hammer tent pegs or whatever you want in there. The balance of the knife, it's a little bit blade heavy, but for something this big and honking, you want that blade heavy, so you can definitely do some good chopping. And this is just a great chopper. I mean, again, this is going to clear branches, split wood, and really do a lot for you around the campsite, or if you're bushcrafting or doing survival stuff. I mean, this is going to do a lot for you, particularly just the heft of the blade, 16 ounces, and the 1/4 inch thickness. The one downside that I have about all BK products, and you'll be seeing a video coming soon of me modifying some of these Zytel handles. These are Zytel handles, which is kind of like a plastic. They're extremely smooth, and I don't know why Becker and Becker and K-Bar are doing that with these handles, because these handles feel ergonomically feel good in the hand. I wear a large size glove. I mean, I got plenty of room. I can back up here, especially if I have a lanyard. I can even get back in here a little bit. Definitely do some hacking. It's got a nice bevel to it in the handle and stuff. So I mean, ergonomically it feels good, but these are just so slick and smooth, and I hate it. I don't like it. That is the one thing that I can't stand about the stock any BK product handle. So I'm going to be doing a video up here soon to try and modify these. You can get these scales. You can just unscrew them, which is also nice, because you can make this into a spear if you wanted to. But you can get micarta handle scales for this. They're about $40 though, 40, 50 bucks, so almost as much as this knife. But you can get like brown micarta scales for this particular model. And my suggestion to you, I'm going to use a Dremel in my other thing and try and Dremel some grooves in here to try and give it some better texture. Or my suggestion to you, and I've seen a couple people do this, is go to your local either sporting goods or like skateboard shop and get some either skateboard or like really good hockey tape, and put some tapes, particularly skateboard tape, if you cut it into nice little strips, and put some in between your screws here. You can put a strip here, put a strip here, maybe another one up here. You're going to get some really good sandpaper type texture on your knife. So that's just a suggestion. The handles definitely leave a little something to be desired. The sheath itself, real quick, it's kind of like a Kraton, not Kraton, sorry, those are handles. Like a Krydex type of sheath, you know, kind of plastic, hollow but very strong material. Tons of lashing options, both Molly and paracord. With that, on the back, 2 screws each for the belt mount. And you can move those up and down a little bit, or just take the belt mount off completely if you don't want it. Comes with a really nice, huge, look at that, I can get my whole hand through their nylon belt loop, so you can get all types of different types of belts on there and different things, and a nice handle strap to hold the handle in place. So just kind of give you an idea, this is so loud and so firm. Check this out. I mean, that is loud popping in there, clicking in there, and there is no rattle whatsoever. This is one of the best retaining sheaths I've ever seen. You know, upside down, it's going to hold in there, no problem. I'm not even worried about this coming out. Then you got, if you're using the nylon belt loop, nice button. Thank God they didn't do Velcro. Nice button there, holds it in place right on your belt. Perfect. Or you can take this off, lash it to your pack, do whatever, and then when you're taking it off, you have an awesome thumb ramp right here. They knew what they were doing. And it's definitely, you know, this is still pretty new. It's stiff, so you definitely have to work at it to pull it out. But great retention with the sheath itself, and I'm very impressed with that sheath. BK did a really good job. Becker did a great job with that particular sheath. So overall, now that I've finally, after all these years and looking at it and wondering about it and want to get my hands on one, finally got able to get my hands on it, how do I feel? Let's put it this way. If you are looking for a smaller length survival knife that will do most tasks for building shelters and preparing wood, you can't really go elsewhere. This is amazing for that type of thing. Now, like if you're carrying this and then you're carrying, you know, like a small folder, like a Rat 1, or, you know, another one would be, you know, like a Cold Steel Recon or something, some very strong folder, you're going to do almost all the survival tasks that you're going to need to do to survive out there in the woods. Now, the downside for that, if you're using this just as a one knife thing, is the weight. The weight is so heavy, which is great for the task that it does, but if that's what I'm packing in, that's like double the weight. Just to show you really quick, Ontario SK5 Blackbird, this is 8 ounces. So this is half the weight of this. Now this is going to do double the work. The BK2 is going to do double the work for processing wood and stuff, but it's so much heavier than this. So you just got to kind of think through your survival options, because, and particularly for me, and I'm learning all the time, if this is my survival blade, then I can't really go wrong. It's going to do awesome. It's going to do, I mean, I'm going to have the best freaking fire around. In comparison, like if someone has this Ontario SK5 Blackbird versus this guy's going to do way more work to prepare wood and a shelter than this guy will. Double the weight, but it'll definitely do a lot more work in that category. The downside for me is the blade length. Because of how heavy it is, the 5-inch blade, I feel kind of holds it back for me personally. I'm talking about me personally, because my loadout, if I'm going to do like a camping trip, you know, and I know, or a hike or a backpacking trip, and I know I'm going to be processing wood and we're going to be building shelters or practicing bushcraft or doing whatever, this really isn't the knife for me, because I'd rather have either like at least a 6, preferably probably 7 or 8-inch blade for my big knife, heavy knife, the one that weighs the most, 16 ounces again, and then have a little fixed blade like a Rat 3 or an SE3, you know, something around the 3 or 4 inch size fixed blade. And that's kind of how I view it. So that's kind of my philosophy. If you're looking for a one knife philosophy system to do a lot of wood use, that's going to be it. It won't do a lot of detailed stuff very well just because of how big it is. I mean, you can do some, but because of how thick, big, heavy, it's going to be a little harder to do some of the detail work. That would be like where a good lockback pocket knife, you know, type design would come into use. So, but overall, very impressed. You know, you can't find it really any cheaper than like 65-ish bucks anywhere, possibly even more. You know, you really can't go wrong. Very impressed overall with the BK2. Hopefully this helps you guys out a little bit. Think through your philosophy, if this is the right size blade for you or not. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.